Somebody says you're old. Yeah, apparently you're young. Anna. And do I hold it? Post, hold it. Gah! I cannot figure this out. Oh well. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to get it so that it has a comment that says, and it sticks there and says that we're talking nails with Anna, so that we don't end up getting these weird guys going, why are you talking about nails? Why don't you just stop talking about nails? So anyway, I'll have to redo that. So I'm going to start with a few Ask Annas that have happened. The nail brand says, love your company. Thank you. Okay, so the question was, are there any major differences with how this performs, how your Miracle Mat performs with, or performs compared to UberMat? And so I wrote, in terms of the silicone, it's identical, but what made it really different is, so for those of you who don't know, I don't know if I can get back here far enough, this is the Miracle Mat that that I created, and it's patent pending. The biggest thing that makes it different, let's see if it shows up, is these raised edges and the create and contain circles, so that you can, people have actually water marbled in these little circles. And then, so the big thing for me was I wanted it to protect a work surface from acetone spills. And so that was the point of the raised edge, and I paid $1,000, over $1,000 to have that mold made. And so it can hold beads, it can do, like I said, you can hold acetone or water or, gosh, those really expensive, the Swarovski little rhinestones that seem to like hop like fleas if you take them out. Anyway, they're great for holding those so that they don't disappear. The other thing that you can see that I created is these grids, so that you can, when you're making decals, you can actually put your finger on there and make the decal the size of your nail. And what's interesting is I'm the one who created that, and now it's being copied by other companies. So anyway, and then also there is black and white so that you can test stamping on it. So somebody says, hi Anna, I have your mat, but I stained it. If you did, what I have learned is that if you take gel bleach and let it sit there for 2 hours to overnight, it should get rid of the stains. And like J Bean 85 is saying, even stained it works great, which I agree. So if any of you have more questions about that, I made it up all by myself. Yes, I did. I did. Actually, no, it wasn't by myself. I take that back. I ended up creating the whole thing, but I got different ideas from bloggers, from very, very successful bloggers, including Christine of Simply Nailogical, and about 3 others, who we just like threw out everything. Wow, this would be great if this was in it. This would be great. And so as a result of getting all of that information, then that's how I created all of those different components. Let's see. I think, why does Christine not use Simply Peel anymore? I think she's moving on to, from what I hear, is she's moving on to creating her own products. So that's okay. Yeah, we had a great relationship. So, okay, so let's see. Let me answer a couple of other questions that came as emails. Let me pull those up. Because there's some good questions, good emails that that have come across. Okay, so I love this Goat Mom. She says, hello, I have a question. Why do my nails start growing extremely slow after reaching a certain length? The length is barely past above my finger. Why is this? I use your nail oil daily. Also, do you have any tips on fixing this problem? It's so frustrating because I am never able to wrap the tips because of this problem. It's such a great question because your nails don't stop growing. They don't stop growing until you die. And so the speed of your nails and how fast they grow, for a lot of it, it depends on the weather and where you live, because there's 3 scientifically proven ways to increase to speed up your nail growth, and there's 3 ways. Get pregnant, which is not an option for a lot of people. Not a choice. I don't want to stay pregnant. And then move somewhere else that's warm. So, like many of us, if we live somewhere where it's kind of colder and then we go somewhere tropical, our nails just grow really, really fast. So, and then the third one is to damage your nail. And the problem with that is that well, you can't grow nails longer if you're biting them or tearing at them and stuff. So those are the 3 ways. I think what happens is when people are starting to get nail tips as they're growing, you want them to grow faster. Go, 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 because now you suddenly have this length that you're paying attention to. And so the answer to the question is they're not stopping, and they're not slowing down. So anyway, okay, let me answer and one more, and then 1 or 2 more, and then I will, and then I'll let you guys ask me all the questions. Somebody's asking about our semi-annual sale. We do that 2 times a year, in January and July. So the July one's coming up. And Rhea says, why does polish crack? Polish cracks as it gets dry. So the oil, any oil you're using, nail oil, if you apply that to the surface of your nail polish, it doesn't penetrate into the nail plate, but it penetrates into the top surface of the polish and helps keep that, helps prevent it from doing that cracking. Because basically, like anything, the more we wash our hands, the more we do stuff that is drying to our nails or even our polish, it starts to crack. So I noticed that, like, I have a big problem with my nails cracking or my polish cracking and my nails curling really badly when I go camping somewhere warm. So, okay. So the question is from Janet Stockhausen. In your opinion, are peel-off base coats safe to use or harmful to the nail plate? I've tried one from Finger Paints that appears to be very similar to Unt or Unt. I don't know how you pronounce it. That's the popular one. My nails look horrible after I peel it. Not sure if my nail is damaged or there is residual base coat that doesn't want to come off. Thanks for your time. So to answer Janet's question, people who use Unt seem to be doing just fine. You know, there's always going to be competitors and they're going to use different ingredients. So the biggest thing that I learned from Doug Schoon, the author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, is that if there was like a grain, you know, kind of like when you look at fabric, there's a grain one direction, or I can't think of anything else, but we know what we're talking about. Anyway, so yes, our nails are growing out this way, but the way the layers lay is side to side. So if you're gonna do it, peel it from the side rather than peeling from this way down. How do I totally answer that question of whether it's damaged her nails? Yeah, if they're fuzzy, like you've peeled it off and your nails are now fuzzy, you've damaged them and basically lifted up all of those layers, which makes me wonder if it's a decent peel off base coat, because it shouldn't be bonding to your nail plate like polish does. So let me answer one more. Let's see. No, not that one. Let's see, Cherokee. I don't have her real name. She says, is there anything you can do to make your nails grow faster? Oh, actually, so I already answered that one. So she said she's taking hair and nail vitamins and great nail care routine, but it's not making them grow faster. So basically, I already answered that one. So, okay, so let's look at questions that you guys have. If your nails are peeling yet still using the oil all the time, how would you suggest keeping them from peeling as they grow out? The very best thing you can do is keep polish on. And what that is going to do is protect those layers, temporary strength. And then just while it's growing out, just keep filing it down. A lot of times if I have a lot of damage, like if I've done something and my nails are peeling, especially if you're really stressed, your nails will start peeling about 4 months later. Anyway, so, oh, I forgot. So I would keep that protected with polish. And I would also keep them shorter until all that grows out. So, okay. I want to buy things from you, but I live in Sweden and shipping costs so much. Is there anywhere else where I can get your stuff? At this point, no. Only through our website. We do ship internationally. And I get it. I get it. You guys have customs fees that can be really, really steep. So usually international people take advantage of the sale so that kind of, the savings kind of offsets the shipping price. So hope that helps. Somebody else says, my nails have definitely gotten more dry since I started using NYC peel off base, even though I peel side to side like you recommend. Waiting for aunt. Good. I would love to hear your, I bought a bottle of it and I still haven't tried it yet. It's because I'm busy writing articles and stuff. So, Rhea says, my nails curve very unevenly. They seem to curve more to one side the longer they get. Do you know why? Yes, I do know why. It is because it's based on the kind of the shape of your matrix, and also your fingertip bone. So that all affects it. And I think I talked about this before, but not sure. I'm not trying to flip you off, but see this callus right here, this bump? That is from writing in school. And so, we have so many years of writing that what actually happens is the body's response to all of that rubbing from a pencil or a pen is to deposit more calcium there. So you get, it's actually a bone spur. So that, I have really, we don't have any idea exactly the size of everybody's matrix. It's different. So for me, like this side curves in very badly. So it's obviously being affected by this bone spur. So I hope that helps. Some people, they just have wonky nails. And so you can especially if they flare out, you can cosmetically file the sides so that they look more symmetrical kind of thing, like they're not flaring out. Also, if you've got I've got a really tight C curve, you guys can see that. If it's really starting to curve a lot and curve under, because some of them do, I will file those sides, and it is perfectly fine to file the sides. I will file those to pull that, to actually release the tension on that C curve. So when I file the sides, then the nail is able to sort of flatten out some. I hope that makes sense. How do you keep your nails from cracking? I would have to have more information of what you do with your hands. Also, whether you are using nail oil regularly, you want to make sure that that the first ingredient is jojoba. And because under the microscope, jojoba looks almost identical to body oil. And so since body oil can come out through our skin and our nails, the jojoba can go back in and absorb. And so because we wash our hands too much, we really need to replace that oil. Can I show my nails? I think it says, can you show your nails? Anyway, I think if you guys are asking me this, that's my nails. Didn't manage to get polish on them, but I do have base coat. So nails are not tools, people. That is right. And I was just I just finished publishing an article from Doug Schoon, and one of the things, it was how to get the article is, does polish cause my nails to peel? And so he answered all the reasons why nails peel and what you can do about it. And then one of the things he said was that we wash our hands way too much. If you wash your hands over 10 times a day, he says that's way too much. So hope that helps. Okay, so I'm going up towards the top. Let's see. Will you post your live videos on YouTube or my website? Yes, they are there. And so if you ever miss one, I'm going to be doing them on Thursdays, just because Thursdays are the day that I'm at home, and I'm doing audio recordings of all the articles so that you guys can listen to those articles when you're doing your nails and stuff, because not everybody has time to read, and some of my articles are kind of long. And so yes, these videos will be available the following week, probably towards the end of the week. So if you miss it, I'm still there. Marjorie says, my nails split in the middle of the tips. What can I do about preventing that? I haven't been jamming them into anything. Okay, so are they splitting down this way, or are they splitting across this way? So Marjorie, let me know. Hopefully I'll catch you. Usually if a nail is splitting this way, I'll just try and answer it, is because there is some sort of damage that's happened to the matrix. And so you've got this really thin area so you'll have your ridges, which are the thicker part of your nails. And then if any part of the matrix is compromised, it's going to create a thinner part of the nail plate. And so that thinner part, once it gets to the tips, will start to split. So I hope that helps. After glisten and glow. Hey Jill, glad to have you have the passion in this industry. I am. So, and you're doing great stuff too. Okay. Somebody says, yes, it does. After a pedicure where the callus tends to be dry, still it's not soft. What am I doing wrong? Calluses are just built up skin, and the body creates those to protect your skin. So like back when you were when you were in elementary school and you were on the monkey bars, and we'd get these calluses here because we were hanging on and swinging like crazy, and you'd get those calluses. Or if you're doing a lot of gardening or something with tools, and you'll build up these calluses, and the whole point is to protect the skin, because if your body doesn't build up those calluses, build up layers of skin, you're constantly going to be having blisters. So it's the body's defense mechanism for when there is additional irritation. So like when I was talking about this bone spur, that's the body's response dealing with this constant pressure from a pen or a pencil. So anytime you've got calluses, like on your heels, or like even these little, let me make sure. So these little calluses that we get on the corners right there, those are all need to be oiled. That's basically, you've got to keep really wonderful oils on them to keep that skin soft. It penetrates into the callus, so then it's not, especially on your heels, so they're not cracking, because those calluses get so thick and then the pressure on them causes that nail or that skin to split. So just keep them oiled. Use any kind of balm or like our lotion stick. It's great on dry skin, especially the calluses. I'm a nurse, so my nails are doomed. No, you're not. No, they're not. But yeah, it is really hard to be in the hotel and hospital and restaurant industry, and that's part of why we created the lotion stick. Actually, it's completely why. Our oil is so light and it soaks in so fast, but people who work with paper, like if you're filing a lot of things or you work at a bank and you're counting money, people who work with fabric, and then also people who have to have their hands in water, we developed the lotion stick so that it keeps a nice water resistant barrier, so that through blah blah blah. Let me trip over my tongue some more. So like we wanted that water resistant barrier that would last through like 2 or 3 hand washings. Okay. What is my favorite top and base coat? I've tried several, but my nails continue to stain from the polish. That is a great question. I don't have a favorite base coat right now. And top coat. Well, I do have a favorite top coat. Base coat, I'm testing some new ones from a manufacturer, and so I've been using. But what you want for a base coat is a ridge filling base coat, because you don't ever want to buff off those ridges, because what are you doing? You're buffing the thickest part down to the weakest, thinnest part of your nail. So you want a ridge filling base coat that I like ones that have a slightly pink tint, because then they do cover up some of that yellow staining. Yellow staining is just, if you like polish, you're probably going to have stained nails. Base coat definitely helps prevent really deep staining, unless you've gotten a polish that uses pigments that are Doug says they're inferior, and he usually attributes that to cheaper nail polishes, but I've also had expensive polishes, salon polishes, stain my nails blue, purple. So, and I do not recommend soaking them or anything. If your nails, good one. If your nails are stained like not yellow, but like bright blue or pink or anything, Lab Muffin, I don't know her real name, but she did a blog post, 2 blog posts actually, about testing how to remove like dark blue staining, and it turned out that the Blue Cross cuticle remover is a really good one. But I would protect your skin, because like I've talked before, the main ingredient in the cuticle removers is lye, and lye eats live skin and dead skin, which is what we want. We want it to eat the dead skin, which is the cuticle that's on the nail plate. It's that skin that you can scratch. That's actually the cuticle, not what the entire planet has been taught. This is the proximal fold of the eponychium. So this is live skin. It's a protective barrier and keeps germs and bacteria out of your matrix where the nail cells grow, and so you want to protect that. I hope I answered the question. Sometimes I go all over the place, and then I'm like, what was the question I'm supposed to be answering? Oh, favorite base and top coat. So, ridge filling base coat, and don't get the ones, I haven't seen them in a long time, but don't get ones that have fibers. Like ridge filling fibers, they don't settle into the grooves, and they just make your nails fuzzy. And then my favorite top coat, until we create one, is the Sally Hansen. I don't remember which kind it is, because they've got so many, but it's the Sally Hansen that comes in a red bottle. The product is clear, but it's a red bottle, and it's their quick dry top coat, and I love it. Love. And I've tried other ones, but I have problems with ones that are a lot thicker and they shrink. So then I get shrinkage on the tips, and then I get tip wear, and then I get peeling. So I hope that helps. Rhea, that's great. I listen to tutorials when I do my nails. I know, it's great. I don't know why I didn't ever think about it before. Does it mean anything if only your ring finger splits or has ridges? My first question would be, did you damage that nail anytime in your life? Like, I have this really bad, it seems like it's a really big ridge, but it's actually on the sides of that ridge are two sections that are very, very thin. And so what it will do is it'll crack at that area. And that's because I slammed this thumb into my mom's VW Bug when I was getting out to go to school, and I slammed and the door shut and snapped all the way closed. Oh my God, I screamed so bad. The nail fell off and everything. So obviously I damaged a section of that matrix, and so my nail grows funky, and this corner always wants to break off. So Jill says, so glad to see you smile. Thank you. Yes. Somebody says, I would love to be a distributor for you in Trinidad. Right now we aren't doing any distributors, because right now, as the company's growing, we're working so hard to create that customer experience that is flawless, because we want you to have, our mission is to have, I've created life-changing products when we want you to have an exceptional customer experience. So we have had a few distributors that have not given exceptional customer experience, and so we just, right now, we're not ready to do that. Somebody says, I love the way you respond to any question with science and knowledge, and you always explain everything. It's so fun. I mean, I can talk about this for days, and I mean, I know you guys want me to do more of these every week, but I gotta write articles. So, but this is really fun to be able to connect with you guys and see the familiar names, because I've been chatting with you guys for the questions of the day. And tell me what you guys think. Do you like those questions of the day? Is there anything you want for me to improve? The page, our Instagram feed, and things you'd like to see more of or less of. So let me know what you think. Somebody says, I just ordered my Bliss Kiss oils yesterday. Can't wait to get them. You're going to love it. You're going to love, love, love it. A couple people have been talking about their favorite base coats and top coats. Oh, what was my personal Instagram again? It is Real Anna Seidel. So it's REALANA, S as in Sam, EID as in dog, EL. And so that's the one where I'm showing you all the stuff about more personal stuff of what's going on with this property and all of these amazing flowers that are growing and we're planting. Oh my gosh, like a couple weeks ago we planted 38 dahlias. I cannot wait to show you guys pictures of all those dahlias. Anyway, and the roses are coming up and the irises and my horses. Well, actually I have one and my mom has one, so, but we're taking care of both of them. So somebody says, I have the chapstick, our Simply Kissed lip balm. Say that 3 times real fast. And it is amazing. Yay! I'm glad you guys are agreeing with me, because that was one that I sent to my mom, who's our chemist. And I said, Mom, we need a lip balm. And I had a lip, what was it? It was some sort of, it was a plumping, it was from Avon, and it was a lip plumping kind of lip conditioner, so it was clear. They also had them in lipstick colors, but I liked the clear one, and I would wear that every night because I cannot stand having dry lips, waking up in the morning with dry lips. And so I sent that to my mom, and she goes, there's 30 ingredients in here, and most of them you can't even pronounce. And she goes, I can't recreate that. And I said, well, okay, start from the beginning. And I said, make something that will stay on my lips all night while I'm sleeping. And so that is our Simply Kissed lip balm. So I'm glad you guys are liking it. Not sure if so alter control delight. Yeah, ask your question again, because I'm now, rather than going up to the questions, I'm now just like scrolling down. How do you fix your nails after getting acrylics, because your nails still look bad after 3 months? That is a perfect question. Usually, and acrylics and gel they're great products, really great products, but they've also changed significantly, especially acrylic. All of the science, the molecular structure of stuff, and that is not my strength in terms of knowing product chemistry. But I do know from lots of conversations with Doug and reading his articles and stuff that the product development has changed so much that it's no longer necessary to grind down half of the nail plate in order to get a good adhesion with acrylics. So, but unfortunately, about 80% of nail technicians, especially the ones that I call chop shops because they're so cheap, they are still grinding down half of the nail plate. They're not up to snuff on all of the new knowledge and how to use these products properly. And so the reason that your nails are so thin most likely is because that nail tech actually ground down too much of your nails. So it takes so when your nails start in your nail matrix, it takes 2 months to get to your proximal fold of the eponychium. And then to get from here to here is approximately 4 to 6 months. The average is about 4 months. But if you're one of these people where your nails grow slower, and yes, people are different, our nails grow at different speeds. And again, if you live somewhere really warm, your nails probably grow pretty darn fast. I live somewhere colder in the Pacific Northwest, and so it's a lot colder all the time, and so my nails grow slower. So just be patient while they're growing out. Keep them polished as much as you can. If you want to use a nail strengthener, that's probably a really good idea because your nails are thinner, and so it will hold. Nail strengtheners have resins in them that hold the nail plate tighter and keep it harder. So for those of us who have tips, it's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to use nail strengtheners because it makes these tips too hard. So then when you whack them into a counter or something, they don't bend and they break. They just snap off. So I hope that helps. We need your products at the Indie Expo in Toronto in June. Isn't Toronto I always try and remember where. Is it on the East Coast or the West Coast? I think it's the East Coast. Anyway, I would love to come, but I am not able to. But you're welcome to send me the information. And maybe the following year I can make it. Alter Control Delight says, you say to wear polish all the time to protect against water, but also to rehydrate. If oil doesn't fully penetrate through the polish, how do you do both? You have to have naked nails. And for those of us who don't have time to do the 3-day challenge, which is to go naked for 3 days and apply the oil as much as your nails need, because it just soaks in and disappears. So what I've taken to doing, this was an idea from one of my really good friends, is to do an overnight hydration with nitrile gloves. And so you slather on the oil, then you slather on lotion stick or some sort of a balm. You don't want watery lotion, like typical standard lotion, because since the first ingredient is water, that's just going to make your hands sweat. Whereas if you put on this a wonderful balm or our lotion stick that seals everything in, you put your hands in nitrile gloves, go to sleep, and wake up and your nails feel fantastic, and that your tips actually may start to get transparent, which means that the oil has penetrated all the way through the layers. And how do I know that? It's because our nail plate is actually being nourished. This pink part this pink part is the nail bed, and then our nail is the nail plate. But so the think, Anna. So the nail bed is pushing just the right amount of water, so moisture and oil, up into the nail plate. Because it's that perfect blend, your nail is transparent here. That's why you can see the pink nail bed. But then as soon as it leaves, it's no longer being nourished by the nail bed, and so it dries out and then gets brittle and breaks. So if you can rehydrate with the oil, then it makes them more flexible and also stronger. A lot of times people think flexible and bendy is not stronger. Well, we want them to bend when we whack them into things. So you can either do it at night, or I've started doing it sometimes during the day when I'm just typing and writing an article. You can do it for a couple of hours and still get a very, very similar effect. So you'll love it. And then go back and wear polish. Nail It Annabelle says, do you know what is causing horizontal, so across this way, bumps on the nails? I didn't have any shock on the matrix and neither fake nails. So I'm assuming that means I didn't wear fake nails either. I would have to see a picture, because horizontal bumps, and it depends on whether it's on one nail or if it's on all of them. Sometimes that can be a medical issue. I've got several things in Doug Schoon's book that I can look up, but I would need to see your nails to be able to give you really good information that's authentic and real. Sally Hansen Insta-Dry. That's the one. Yes, that's the one. My nails are kind of rigid, I guess, not really smooth. It's always been that way. Do you have nails like this? I have nails with ridges, so if and I know you can't see it, but because I'm older, I'm pushing 50, 48, so our digestion, as we get older, our digestion is not as good, and so then the nutrition that's coming to our nail matrix is not prime like it was when we were younger, and so certain parts of the matrix become less efficient. And so what happens is, it's the less efficient part are the grooves in between each ridge, and so that's why we're like, oh, we're getting too many ridges. It's because we're getting older or we're really stressed, but mostly it's usually because they're older. I mean, think about like when you see like people who are 90 years older, and their hands and their skin is paper thin because they've lost the collagen that's in that plumps up our skin, and they've got really, really deep grooves, and their ridges really stick out, and that's just, again, that's because their digestion is way worse than where mine is right now. So I hope I answered that question. Some people love Gliss. Somebody says, HK Girl from Glisten and Glow. I'm sure Jill's still here. Yes, there is, I mean, so many people love HK Girl. It shrinks on me, but man, I mean, so many people love it. So it's a great top coat. Horizontally is how your nails split. Then if your nails are splitting horizontally like this way across, I'm gonna guess you have really flat nails, rather than having a big, sharp C curve like that. people with flatter nails that have a flatter C curve, those nails tend to split right along the side. They'll basic because what's happening is any pressure that goes against this, it's so funny, I can't, half the time I can't see what I'm doing because of all your guys' text, but so the pressure, so if any pressure happens that's pushing up on your nail plate, and if it's flatter, it's going to just tear. And the reason for that is based, remember when I was talking about the nail layers go from side to side, it's far easier for them to tear to the side. And if you think about it, if we're out way before decent civilization, and you're out there and you're foraging, and the men are out there going and hunting down mammoths and stuff, and we want our nails to tear sideways so that they aren't tearing and getting into the nail bed. So that's why it's a natural defense mechanism, is to have it tear to the side. I hope I answered that kind of question. Hey Danielle, my niece's thumbnail is almost flat, but by the time you get to her pinky, it has a super sharp C curve. Is there any reason for this? Yeah, it's just okay, so what she's saying is the thumbnail is really flat, and then by the time you get to the pinky, it's way curved. And that, again, it goes back to the shape of your matrix, and the length of it, and then also your fingertip bone. And so based on, our pinkies are tiny, and I think mine does too. Does it? Yeah, it does. And it's just the way our fingertips are, our fingertip bone is, so that's why. We love what you do. Thank you, you guys. This is fun. I always like doing these. It's so weird. I sort of get all nervous before, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and it's like, that's that stage fright kind of thing. And then I get on here and you guys are asking all sorts of great questions, and then I relax and I'm just fine. Rhea says, question of the day is great. More nail tutorials and quick nail care tips would be great. I will work on that. That's a good... I used to do a lot more nail care tips, and then lots of writing. So that's, that's a great idea. Like a quick tip with a link to our articles. Yeah, I'm going to be doing more of that. I used to do a lot more of that kind of thing. How do you prevent peeling on the side of the nail where it's still attached to the bed nail plate? If it's still attached, so if you're saying it's peeling way back here, it's because again, those forces have pushed up and caused it to tear, and it can tear far back here depending on kind of where your nail at this lateral sidewall, wherever your nail starts to leave the nail bed. So you can see mine's way back here. So I have gotten tears that go into the middle of my nail bed, and they hurt like the anyway, the best thing to do with that is nail glue and fiberglass or silk wrap. Some people use the dipping powder, I don't remember the name of it because I don't own it. And they'll dip into that, and basically it's the home version of acrylic nails, because you're putting on a nail glue, which is like the liquid, and then you're dipping into an acrylic powder. So it's an easier way to do it, and then you file it down and make it all smoother. And so that works great if your nails are kind of short. But if you've got nail tips, again, it's going to be just like if you got acrylics. Those tips won't bend, and what can actually happen is you'll break them back farther. So you just want to be really careful, and And while that's happening, just go to shorter nails. A lot of people, like, they'll have one be really short and the rest will be long or whatever. And this is my personal opinion, it just looks bad. It is way better if you've got a tear and one that you have to cut short, just cut all the rest short. They will grow back. And what I have learned from the nail community by watching nail bloggers literally every day for the last 5 years, is that people who have short nails, even if they're so short that you can actually see the fingertip, I'm trying to remember, there's somebody, I'm blanking on her screen name, but she has really, really short nails. I've shared her several times. But they're perfectly filed, and she does great nail art. And even if she didn't do nail art and it was just painted nicely, short nails can be very, very beautiful if you just take care of them and make them look nice. So I hope that helps. What do you think of sèche vite? And that is how you pronounce it. It's sèche vite, not sèche vite or vite, or it's sèche vite, which means in French, dry fast. And it does. It's great. For me, I tend to get shrinkage about day 3. It dries so fast. It's amazing. The thing that I didn't like about it was that by the time you got down to about a third gone, you're lucky if you get to half gone. So you're paying $12 or $15 for the sèche vite, and then because it dries so fast, and the reason it's doing that is because it has different solvents in it that evaporate so fast. So it's evaporating out of the bottle while you're using it. And so because those solvents are evaporating so fast, it starts to get really thick and unusable about halfway down. And then you have to buy Sèche Restore, which is those solvents that evaporated, and you put that in there. And I just had trouble with the fact that I was spending that much money, and then I had to spend that again in order to save the product so that I could use what I wanted to use in the first place. So that's why I haven't gone back to it, just because of the investment aspect of it. And I can get the Sally Hansen one for like $3 or $4. So, and I haven't had issues with it. I can get down, I mean, I've used up almost all of it. Somebody says, so Danielle's saying www.myblisskiss.com HQ/HQ. So I have 2 sites. So the company site is myblisskiss.com, and then where I've written over 80 articles, that's at nailcarehq.com. So I'm not sure if that's what was being answered. Simply Kissed works for lips, rough skin, hangnails. It does. And then we've got our lotion stick that comes in the little mini lip balm, the lip balm container too, and that's great for your for in your purse. It's a softer, I mean, people were using the Simply Sealed lotion stick mini as a lip balm before we created the Simply Kissed. Somebody says HK Girl doesn't shrink. It does on me. So and you know, everybody's different. So, and so much is determined by where you live and the temperature and the humidity. And so for everybody, you kind of have to just play, experiment with yourself, find out what works for you. You know, one thing that doesn't shrink for somebody else will shrink for another person. And I've seen these reviews all over the place of all of the top coats of like, this one was horrible, it caused shrinkage, and the other person saying, no, this is a 5-star, I'd give it 10-star if I could because it doesn't shrink at all. And it's like, well, you're both right. So there we go. How old am I? I'm 48. Danielle and Rima are just having a fantastic conversation. What is the best nail file to use? The best nail file is anything that is 180 grit up. So the first highest grit, or the lowest grit, which means, so grit is it's like sand. So if you've got a low grit, that's going to be the lowest one you can get is 100. So it's like if you were to take an inch and put 100 pieces of sand in it, that's 100 grit. If you put 200 pieces of sand in that inch, then it's a 200 grit. If you get 600 grit, it's got 600 pieces of sand in that same amount. So you can tell the sand's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, finer, finer, finer. And so you can use a 180, 240 to, I use that for filing down if I've got a lot of length that I need to file down. And then for finishing work, I go to a crystal nail file, and that's because crystal nail files are about 600 grit, and so it's just a nice fine grit that helps me kind of smooth off that edge. So, and that helps stop peeling for me. What nail strengtheners do I recommend? I have an article about nail strengtheners on nailcarehq.com, and then so Google that plus nail strengtheners, and you'll find the one that has a picture of 3 different strengtheners. And I wrote a whole article explaining how they work, what are the ingredients that are in them. I actually looked them all up so that I could tell you whether this was a resin or it was a whatever, all of these different types of ingredients. And so that will help you decide. But basically, if it's a nail strengthener, that will work great as long as your nails are short. And then once they get longer, then you definitely want to be using your oil to keep those tips flexible. YouTube.com/ Kirsten is saying /C/Bliss Kiss is the YouTube account for the videos. I don't know what the C is, but anyway, you can go to YouTube and look up Bliss Kiss, or Google it. So you'll also, if you just search for Bliss Kiss in YouTube, you'll get a lot of people who have done reviews and stuff. So I hope that'll help. When you buy Simply Peel, so Deb's Nails says, when I buy Simply Peel on Amazon.com, is that the real thing? Yes, it is. When you scroll through the pictures, so you'll see the picture of the product, and then we have other pictures. As long as you see there's another picture that has a seal, it looks like a little ribbon. It's a seal of authenticity, because we have had people who have, especially even in China, who have been selling on Amazon, and they actually didn't have the product, because we don't sell peel to anybody in China. And so what they were doing was relying on you forgetting that you purchased it 6 weeks ago and forgetting that you even ordered it. And so we actually had one gal who remembered that she ordered it and it never came. And so we told her what was going on, and that was so hard for Amazon to help us with that. But yes, if you see it, and also the other thing is that you want to look for is the seller, Bliss Kiss, and then that is us. Yes. Somebody, I can't pronounce the name, but you'll know who you are. But even with polish on top of your nails, you still get the benefits of your oil from the sides, the cuticle area, and the underside of the nail. Exactly. So when you have polish on, remember I said that before, that polish is not solid. We look at a lot of things in our world and we go, oh, that's solid. But actually, if you slice it and look at it under a microscope, everything seems to have holes in it. It's not solid. Things, even the nail is fluid and can be like, for people who sit there and they just rub at certain spots, they can actually, then the nail grows out and it's got these bumps in it because they've sat there and they've worried at it. Or if they sit there and they pick at the skin there, that can actually affect the matrix. So yes, the oil penetrates into that top surface of the oil, helping to prevent premature cracking, and then also just all the added benefits of how it keeps your skin soft, keeps the calluses here soft, so that you don't want to bite at them or pick at them. And if they're really dry, really dry, and you can't seem to like as much oil, you're putting lots of oil on, and they're still really hard and they're bothering you, you can take a crystal nail file, so something that has really fine grit. I actually would even go to you can go to Sally Beauty Supply and get a 1200 grit. It's a cardboard file, but it's got 1200 grit, and you can use that just like you would use a pumice stone on your heels to get off some of that extra calloused skin. You can do that with your nail file. Just be very careful that you're just taking a little bit of that skin and smoothing it so you're not tempted to bite and chew on it, and then oil that really well. And so yeah, keep all your skin really hydrated. Kirsten is saying Bliss Kiss has an official store on eBay, and look for that seal. That is true, and we have now discovered that there are like 40 sellers who are, what they do, so 40 sellers who are not authorized to sell our products are selling it on eBay, and what they've done is they've got some sort of software that basically pulls the product listings from Amazon, and it automatically puts them on eBay, and then when somebody purchases it from eBay, they're not actually having the product. It goes directly to Amazon, and then Amazon ships the product, and they've taken a cut. So definitely look for our seal of approval on those photographs, and also that the seller is not Joe Blow blah blah, that it's actually Bliss Kiss. You guys are having all these questions or all these conversations, and I'm looking for a question. Sorry. Oh, this is a great one from Ray Angela. Will biotin help rebuild the nails? Okay, so if you're asking of whether it will rebuild what you've already got, the answer is no, because all of this from the minute, so if you've got, God, I barely have any. So for those of you who, like, I have a lunula right there, that is actually the exposed portion of your nail matrix, which is why it's a different color. So when the nail cells are being created, they're solid color. And so that's why you can see a lunula. And then once it gets past the matrix, then it goes clear and transparent. So all of those layers are dead. So once they hit past the end of that lunula or the matrix, it's dead, just like your hair is dead. And so biotin can help internally if you don't have enough biotin in your diet. A lot of people find there's many people who, if they take just straight biotin, it causes acne, but then they're able to use like a hair, skin, nails formula, and that will reduce the Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.